All right, so I have a little bit of time to talk, and my name is Mike, and this is Journey to Barista. And to be honest, I've been making coffee for quite a while. Since 2022, I've been using a Breville Barista machine, and mine's a Dual Temp Pro, but I'm gonna go to the one of the most popular ones to actually get on Amazon, and you can't go wrong with choosing one of these. Uh, the the thing is it's not really any one of these that you're gonna want to be focusing on. It's more of what are you willing to spend? Like, you do you need what do you need? Like, any one of these, all of these machines, you're going to be able to basically make something good. And plus, you can see the reviews. The reviews, like if you can go by those, obviously the Breville's are going to be the most popular ones. But you know, there's a lot to choose from. So I'm going to try to help you walk through what you probably should consider. So I've used the two of them, right? So there's one that's not available anymore, which is mine. It's the Dual Temp Pro, and it doesn't have a grinder. And so I had to buy the Baratza Encore ESP, which you could do too. But if you're going to go on here and look at machines, I would consider, if you have the budget, $849. You can get this on sale as well. It goes on sale, and you can sometimes get it to where you can pay payments on this. I use it every single Sunday at my church to serve a crowd of people. Like, I'll make 12 to 15 espressos every single Sunday morning, and so that's why I can completely recommend this Breville Barista Pro espresso machine. It will grind the beans for you as well. It's like there's right here. There's like a little push button, so you take the portafilter out, which is right there. You put it under there, and you can press a button with the portafilter. It'll dump exactly what you need in there after you set it up. I can show you how to do that later if you would want to. I also bought the Impress. I've tried the Impress. I was impressed. Sorry, dad jokes. But it's fun to use. It's nice because exactly what you would want it to do. The steaming is going to be a little bit faster, and I think more forgiving on the Breville Barista Pro. Everything about it is just going to be a lot easier. Don't let anybody scare you away from it. It's great. I love that machine. Super easy to use. You just dial it in one time, and you're like basically ready to go all the time. The Breville Barista Express. This is the one that everybody has used. Like, this one has 3,300 so 3,300 reviews. This one has 27,400 reviews because it's been out a long time. The other version of it is right here. It's this guy right here, Breville Barista Express. So if I know I'm going through this kind of fast, so I'll slow down for you guys. The Breville Barista Express. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on that right there. You can't go wrong with this. It's not going to have the updated grinder like the Breville Barista Pro, but it's still going to have a grinder that's going to get what you need. There's click to see full view. So there it is. And common questions on this thing are, does it come with a tamper? Yes, it absolutely does. The tamper is right here. This is the tamper. This, right there. Got it? So that little thing right there, that's the tamper. You take it out of there, you pull it out. See, it says tamper right there. And then the other question is, maybe does it come with a portafilter? Yes, it does. The portafilter is right here, right there. Okay? And does it come with a grinder? Yes. I don't know how much that grinder will hold. That's another question that people have. But here's the thing is, if you have an espresso machine and you want to make the best quality coffee you can possibly get, then I recommend not putting it maybe putting the coffee in the hopper and leaving it there. So quantity might not matter as much as you think, because honestly, you probably should just measure out what you need, put it in the hopper, grind that, and then do that again, right? Instead of like, so every morning when you wake up, just measure it out really quick and put it in there. You could keep it in here, but the problem is it's not completely sealed. So this thing, that hopper is not sealed. The lid right here, it doesn't have a perfect seal. It's gonna sit on there, just barely sit, and easily comes off. And then down below, down here, that chute, I'm pretty sure inside here somewhere, it does not seal up very well, right? So air is going to be getting into this. So I recommend storing your beans in the freezer anyway. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just put them in here, and then you're good to go. The other question is does this espresso machine make a latte or a cappuccino or a cortado or Americano, or does it make espresso? Yes, this is an espresso machine. So if you're asking if it makes espresso or not, that means that you probably don't know really what espresso is. Espresso is made in a little, it's like a really condensed puck that you get into this portafilter right here, right? And then you tamp it, and then you put this portafilter inside here, and this machine will push a bunch of pressure, and you can see the pressure gauge right here go up, and that, it'll be like 9 bars, and that pressure pushes through the compact coffee that you ground at a finer grind, pushes the water through that coffee, and it comes down through here and on into your cup, right? So a latte or a cappuccino or a cortado or an Americano are all names for drinks that have a base drink. The base is the espresso. So yes, of course, it's up to you what you want to make, right? So this wand right here, this wand on the side, this is intended to steam milk for you. So if you're asking, can this machine make a cappuccino or a latte? Yes, it can, but it just depends on how much milk you use, right? So it will come with a pitcher as well. I don't know, let me see here, yes. So it'll come with this milk jug right here. When you get this milk jug, it's not the greatest I've used mine, it's been fine, but I would consider putting your milk in just below this part right here. So if we go out, just fill it up to where it's just at the bottom of that. And the filter basket that you want to use, here's all the stuff that you're going to get with it, by the way. You're going to get a dosing funnel, which is awesome. This dosing funnel goes, this thing right here, goes on top of this. And you twist it. So you see the little nubs at the end of this portafilter? This goes on top, and then you twist this just a quarter turn, boom, and it locks in place. And then you can place the portafilter in here and push it, and it'll dump all the coffee into that funnel, and you'll be able to keep that coffee, from falling out over the place. So you absolutely need this thing right here for the dosing. Yes, you do. And what's cool about these is these are filter baskets, and it comes with them, but I would still recommend even going with a step up beyond what they give you here. The filter baskets you get here are gonna hold like maybe 16 grams of coffee. I would go for 18 or even 20 grams of coffee. So you might wanna go for like an IMS later on, but these are good to start with. You don't wanna use one of these. These right here are the single wall, these for really, stale coffee. This is a single shot, double shot. So these are going to be something that if you have an old like coffee, you'll still be able to get something decent from them, but I don't recommend them. The razor does help you get used to it. Get used to. I stopped using this after a while, like this thing right here, it's helpful at first to kind of get the idea of where the coffee should be sitting, but I stopped using it. I get great results now. Here's your tamper right here. I never use this water filter. This water filter thing in my bobber is not really useful for me because I use filtered water. If you don't use filtered water, you're going to want to use one of these because hard water is going to destroy your machine. It comes with a descaler, which is awesome. Cleaning tablets. Those cleaning tablets work really well with this little thing right here. It comes with this Allen wrench, which is cool because you can undo. There's a bolt that is underneath. So you take this portafilter off right here. If you take this off, it'll expose a screen that's underneath here, under the head, I believe it's called. And this, if you open that up, you'll be able to clean out the residue that builds up over time. Just the coffee being exposed to the metal, it'll leave like a slimy residue after a while, or like a film of old coffee, all that. So you have to clean that out every once in a while. And it comes with the brushes that you would need and everything to be able to clean up right here. So that brush. So it comes with basically everything you need. Like it'll come with all this stuff. So you'll be set. Let's see here. And that dual spout right there, that is awesome. You don't need to have it. You'll see people that have like a bottomless portafilter. Like it doesn't have this bottom right here, because it's not absolutely necessary to have that bottom. It is on this portafilter, right? But you don't have to, like you can get a different portafilter, I think like $25, and it'll actually come with a 18-gram screen. I can't remember what I purchased, but you can find them here pretty cheap on Amazon, and it'll be it's something decent for you. But honestly, you'll get by with this. The reason why I like a bottomless portafilter is because you don't have to worry about cleaning this out later. Because this is something you got to take off and you got to clean out everything in there, and it retains water somehow and all that stuff. But if you wanted to pour 2 single shot espressos, you can get a shot glass and then put one under this stream and another one under this stream. So, actual baristas use these things quite often. Here's the tamp. So you're going to have to, tamp this, but this tamper, it's good enough, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to make it difficult to where you can't really get this to exactly where you want. It's going to be hard to do. Even for me, this thing is hard to use it sometimes. So, like, I recommend going to get a tamp that has a ring around the outside of it to help hold it on the rim here, right around here. And instead of this being like all the way, like there's nothing on the edge here to be able to hold it on top. So that way when you tamp, you're gonna tamp at an angle most likely, especially if you're just starting. You'll get used to it, but it's gonna be super difficult, like a difficult learning process for you to get this to fall right in there perfectly and level. Like that's hard to do. So some people would say, yeah, you need to do WDT. In other words, like prepare your puck and all that stuff. Yeah, you could get like, but I don't even worry about it. What you could do is just put your put your palm over this right here, this portion. Put your palm over that when the coffee is in there, and then shake that thing to like get it all shooken up and broken up. And then, tap the side of your portafilter, tap that thing to get it to, and then angle your portafilter, like this, angle it and like do like that, and not like a whole bunch, but I'm just being more dramatic than I need to be. But knock that thing into where it's level, straight across. That's why they're showing you this. So that the bed does need to look like that, right? So that way when you push down on it, you're getting the most chance possible of not going at an angle. The reason why you don't want to be at an angle is because if you're at an angle, that means that the coffee is going to be thinner or less thick here than on this side possibly, or vice versa. So if it's tamped straight across, that means the thickness of this coffee is going to be the same everywhere. Why is that important? Because water finds the easiest route. So it will want to go and find the thinner spot and go out that way. And there's going to be this thick portion here of coffee that you're going to get some extraction from, but not all of it. And you're going to get a under extracted cup, and it's not going to taste that good. And you'll be like, what the heck? This thing is terrible. Like, I don't recommend anybody get this. And it's all because of the puck prep and not getting this thing level, because this is hard to use. This tamper is hard to use, promise you. And yeah, it's just difficult. Nice, you get 2 free bags if you contact Breville, I guess. Here it is. So this you don't. That's not how you want to hold the milk. You want to hold it straight up and down. Like, this is not how you want to hold the milk. They did this to make it, give, like, maybe show it's like obvious that what's going on the screen. I have no idea, but hold it level. Like, if I could bring her hands down to make this thing level, the top of this level, and then putting that up against here, that is what you want to do. This needs to be touching here somewhat. And if she has milk in there, that wand is way too far down in the milk. It just needs to be barely touching the top of the milk, to where it's just below the surface. And that's how you'll get your perfect, your milk will stir and like be all vigorous and fast and stuff and good to go. So all this to say, this, you can see it right here. So there you go. There's the espresso. Okay. Here's the espresso. Got it? Here's another espresso. Perfect. Here is like a cappuccino. Got it? All right. Because they added the milk. So this is a smaller amount of milk. That would be a cappuccino. This would be a latte right there. So does the machine make a latte or a cappuccino? Yes, absolutely. But it's up to you and how much milk you want to put in it. It doesn't like automatically make drinks for you. You have to actually push buttons and stuff and dial this thing in. And that's going to be the hardest thing. That's going to be the thing that determines whether or not you're successful in this. Because these buttons right here, what the heck? You're like, wait, what's that? Single shot. That single shot is going to be like 10 grams of coffee, okay? But 20 grams of coffee out in the cup. And you're like, wait, Mike, what the heck? What are you talking about? Well, with an espresso, when you're making espresso, you're going to think about, okay, 2-to-1 ratio. That means you have 20 grams of coffee, you want 40 grams of coffee out in liquid, okay? So that means that in this little cup right here, this little cup should be, if that is a 16, let's say they got 16 grams in there. If my math is correct, that means you want 32 grams of liquid in this cup. That should be 32 grams. And by the way, people say crema is the identifier of good quality coffee. Yes, it could be, but it doesn't mean that it tastes good. That crema is bitter right there, okay? So you're gonna taste this and be like, what? What is going on? This tastes terrible, possibly. Mix that up, like just mix up the crema, stir it before you drink it. Before you try that, before you try it, make sure you stir it a little bit. I like to add a little bit of honey in mine, but that's just me. Back to this right here. So if you do get this and you press these buttons and stuff, I would stick to going with this right here. That's going to give you the double shot. That's what Starbucks does. Most of the time when you get a drink, if you get a grande, it's going to be with a double shot. So grande latte, it's going to be a double shot with like 7 or 8 ounces of milk or something like that. And if you fill up your milk to this part right here, you know what? This is a better shot. If your milk is at this point right here, if it's right there, okay? When you tilt this cup on its side, guess what the milk is going to do? The milk is going to move to be level. It's not going to like move to the same motion. It's still going to be level. So why not just have your cup, level? It just makes more sense. So if your milk is right here at this level, which it needs to be, about right there at the bottom of the spout where it starts to, turn into a spout, right there at the bottom, you're good to go. And that's probably going to be about 7 or 8 ounces. I would go just below it to have more flavor of coffee. If you wanted to go a little bit more to have more milk to mask the flavor of the coffee, to make it not so intense, then add a little bit more milk. But right in this area is where you want to be. Hopefully you can see it, but right in this area is where you want the milk level to be. Somewhere, but I recommend right here. For me, I recommend it like right around there, like the bottom of the spout, just barely. It makes fast, silky microfoam with this powerful 266 Fahrenheit steam wand. But the thing is, you don't want the milk to go to 266 degrees. Heck no. Boiling is 212, right? You don't want your milk to be boiling. You want it to be even far below that. You want it to be like, the milk should be like 130-ish. So if you can hold your hand like that, like what she's doing right there, for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, and you're like, ow, that's perfect. If you're counting to 1 and you say, ow, you can't hold it there anymore. That's too fast. If you counted to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's not long enough yet. You still need to steam it. After a while, your hand's gonna get used to the heat, so you're gonna have to adjust as you go. Lately, my coffee or my milk has been a little bit too on the cooler side, because if you add too much heat to this, it's going to make it to where the milk no longer has that sweet taste. So as you're heating this milk up, it's going to be sweeter, right? It's gonna get that sweet taste and actually add to the flavor of your drink. If you don't, if you overheat it, it's going to start to be not so good. It's gonna have more of a bitter flavor. It's gonna warm up the coffee. It's gonna make the coffee too hot. The espresso is gonna be too hot, and it's just not gonna have a flavor anymore. Like, you're gonna burn it off with milk if you do that too much. By the way, you can steam your water as well. If you only want an Americano, you can steam your water as well. And I recommend that. James Hoffman said, hey, go ahead and steam your milk recently. And I steamed my milk and made myself a really good Americano. And I scraped off the crema out of there. And so that way there was no crema. Because remember, crema means bitter. Crema is a good sign that the coffee is good quality, because it's either fresh or it's just a good quality, a lot of oils in your coffee and stuff, or in whatever your coffee you have. So let's see here. So from this picture right here, it looks like they have a cappuccino right here. They've also got some honey, I think, but I love to put honey. After the espresso shot, I'll put honey in here. All right. All that aside, why choose anything else, you might say? Well, first of all, if you want to spend more money, you can. This steam wand on that steam wand has one single hole in it. It's going to steam about 2 minutes. It's going to take to steam the milk to where you want it. Now this espresso machine, this Breville Barista Pro, this one, I think has 4 holes or something like that right here. So that steam wand is going to have more holes in it, okay? It's going to go a lot faster. The grinder, this grinder is actually, I believe it's the same grinding blades or something in there is the same as the Baratza Encore ESP, which you can buy separate. It's $200 for that grinder, and this one I think has the same one. You've got a digital readout. Now, the only problem with this digital readout on this one is this. It only starts counting when it starts counting as soon as the pre-infusion starts. What the heck is pre-infusion, Mike? Okay, so in order for you to get a good coffee, There's something that needs to happen with this espresso machine. Most espresso machines need to have a pre-infusion. Not everybody believes that a coffee machine should have it, but it basically injects at a lower pressure, like I think what, 2 bars or 3 bars, a little bit of water before it actually starts, okay? So it ejects it, and sometimes you'll see some coffee coming out even during that pre-infusion, but it's a couple of little drips sometimes. Most likely your coffee is not fine enough if that is happening, but it might be perfect. It might be fine, just depending on the coffee. But so if that counter, this thing will start counting as soon as the pre-infusion starts. I think the counter shouldn't start until the first drop hits so after pre-infusion, which is like what, 8 or 9 seconds. By the way, you can program what you want the pre-infusion to be. But after the pre-infusion starts, that's when you should count. So it should be, so why do I even focus on counting? That's a good question. Why count, Mike? Why is this even counting down? That's a good question. And that's what brings me to this. So at the bottom, you'll probably see what they recommend. If you're gonna buy this, you might as well buy something else. Exactly, I see it. I like this. The Maestri House I think this is the one I have. It's for $31.99. And that scale right there is going to have a built-in timer and a built-in scale, okay? So a timer and scale. So as soon as the coffee hits this, it'll start counting down, and it will also weigh it for you. So you'll be in grams. Let's say you're doing grams. I recommend doing grams, okay? So right here, you'll have the scale sitting right on this part. You'll have the scale sitting on here, and with a shot glass or your cup of choice, whatever it is. And as soon as that liquid hits this, as soon as the liquid hits the scale that's sitting right here, that it'll start counting. But up here, this will start reading, it'll already say like 10 seconds or 11 seconds. You can't go from that. You can't count on that. No pun intended. So then that means you have to have a scale still. So I don't understand why this works. I don't understand how it helps you. Not necessarily. I wouldn't go by this. You still want, like, if you're going to dial this in and you don't ever want to have to use a scale, it's fine. But the first time you dial this in with any certain bean, and by the way, if you change the coffee bean that you're using, that will also change the grind size that's needed. So therefore you have to dial this in again. And what do I mean by dialing in? So you want an extraction to happen on this machine. The perfect extraction would be everything comes out and into the cup in 25 seconds. But you can also have it come out everything in 35 seconds. Sometimes some coffees are better if you have it come out a little bit longer even. That's all a matter of preference. But the general rule is anywhere from 25 to 27 seconds of extraction. Everything comes out and finishes coming out in 27 seconds. How do you do that? By the grind size, right? So if your grind size is perfect, the grind is only going to let a certain amount of water through in a certain amount of time. Hopefully that makes sense. So the finer the grind, the slower the water gets to come through. It's kind of like sand versus pebbles, through rocks. Rocks are going to be a little bit bigger than sand. Rocks let water through a little bit faster. Same thing as with the coffee. So the coffee grind size is what determines how fast the water goes through and ends up in your cup. You want it you want it to finish within 25 to 27 seconds. If not, then 30 seconds, 35 seconds, up to 37 is fine. Every once in a while I'll pull a coffee and it's there, right? It comes out in that amount of time. It's going to be under extracted or over extracted, possibly, okay, depending on your taste. But if you're adding milk to it, then it's going to be fine. But over extraction means that it took 40 seconds for it to finally end up in the cup. In other words, the water passed through this cup or this puck for a long time, right? It was passing through a long time. It took a long time to finally get your desired weight. So that means that you have to know the weight. And that's why on this scale, there's a second thing, which is for weight. On this right here, this portion. that side is for weight, like how much it, you know, let me see, where is it? That's fine, we can choose that. So it's important to know the grams, because that's how you know how much coffee is going to come out, right? So this portion here, so the puck is going to be what? Let's say you have 16 grams of coffee, which is most likely because you're using the filter or the filter basket that came with the machine, and which is totally fine. But that means you're going to get 30, you want to end, so you have 16 grams of coffee in here, right? You want to end with 32 grams. But you want to end at 32 grams because it's why? It's a 2-to-1 ratio. With coffee, with espresso, the best thing to do for most people starting out, or for if you find out your preferences, you want a 1-to-1, that's fine too, or a 1-to-3, whatever, or 3-to-1, whatever. But 2-to-1 is basically what you want to start with. So let's say we have 16 grams in this, so times 2, that means you want to have 32 grams of liquid by the time it's coming out of there. But how long would it take? How long? Right, we want to have 32 grams in there, in that cup. By the time we want to have 32 grams in this cup, okay, 32 grams, done. In here, 32 grams, that's an Americano right there. But in your little shot glass, you want 32 grams in this right here. 32 grams in 25 to 27 seconds. If you gotta go 30 seconds, 30, 32, 35, you might even like that more. But the 35 is gonna be like, it's gonna have a very strong taste. If this extracts in about 10 seconds, it's gonna be under extracted. In other words, you have a lot of coffee in there that you're not getting flavor from because the water was allowed to pass through. So what are you gonna do to be able to slow that down next time, to make it to where it comes out slower? I'll let you tell me. What are you gonna do? So it came out in 10 seconds. So what does that tell you? You tell me. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with the grinder and this little knob right here, which allows you to adjust the grind size. Okay, if you said that you have to reduce the grind size, you're correct. Why? Because right now, you basically have a bunch of rocks, like big pieces of coffee in here. And they shouldn't be, right? If they're coming out in 10 seconds, everything you're getting 32 grams of coffee, which is what you want. If you've got a 16-gram basket, you have 16 grams of coffee in there. You're gonna extract a 2-to-1 ratio. You want 32 grams in here. If everything extracted in 10 seconds, that's too fast. So you gotta go smaller. This has to be smaller in here. So that means you're gonna need to reduce. So reduce, cut back. So go down. This knob needs to come back and reduce. This is the grind size, which will be showing up right here. The grind size, this. Grind size, that's a 13 right there. So, yeah, so that's it right there. So any of these espresso machines are gonna be good. This one I like because it can go so fast, okay? The reason why it's fast, there's no changing the amount of, there's no changing how fast you can like pull a shot. There is changing how fast you actually get coffee in here, right? And how it retains. This has a lot of retention problems, but you can fix that with other things like putting a bellows on top of here and stuff to push the coffee through and all that. So all that can be fixed. Retention is something we got to talk about later. But for the most part, the fast thing is going to be this steaming of the milk. Now, why do you have to worry about that? Is because this is a single boiler. It only has, while this is pulling a shot, you do not have the ability to steam milk also, right? So you can't steam milk at the same time while you're pulling a shot. That's fine. That means that you're gonna be pulling the shot, you're gonna get done with the shot's gonna have to sit off to the side over here somewhere, right? It's gonna have to sit off, by itself, you know, while you're steaming the milk. Okay. It has a more powerful steam wand, turns milk into silky, smooth microfoam. I do not recommend putting the steam wand in there. You're not going to get smooth microfoam if you do that. It's not terrible, but it's not going to be the best way to do it. I recommend holding it. So you're not going to get, microfoam like that if you don't hold it. Okay. So there's the puck right there. Nice. Look how nice and flat that is after you tamped it. Most likely, you're not going to get that kind of tamp with the tamp that you have available with this machine. You know why? Because this tamp is too wide for the inside of the portafilter. So it, like, you can, if you put that tamp in there on top, it'll jiggle around. It won't tamp all the coffee at the same time. So you got to go around and slowly tamp each side, make sure all the coffee is down. Tamp, 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 tamp. Like, you got to dance around, and it's most likely you're going to mess up that coffee. And if you don't have a good starting point to your coffee, like when you first start, if you don't have a good starting point, you're most likely going to give up on the whole process altogether, and I don't blame you. Like, I don't blame you at all. So let's see here. That must have turned off. No big deal. All good. Hopefully you guys are finding this, helpful and interesting. I guess interesting. I don't know. It can only be so interesting, right? So the razor will come in helpful and all that stuff, because you can level it out and everything with that. But it's going to be, using this way is going to be rough. Like, no matter how you look at it, it can be done, but it's going to be kind of confusing for you and discouraging. So that's why when you say, which machine is better for beginners, any of them. But what's actually better for beginners is, making sure that you have the right tools even to start. And that's why I say Normcore. We'll go to Normcore tamper. Normcore tamper. Okay, this right here. This is a 58 millimeter. If you get a Breville machine, it's going to be a 54 millimeter. So make sure that you're focusing on that. Normcore. Nope, you don't want 54, or you don't want 58. Okay, no 58. This is the one you want. This is the one I have. And it's, so you're thinking like there's 53.3 millimeters. It's not going to be like perfect fit, but it'll do a better job than what the tamp comes with what comes with the machine. So I recommend getting this. It's going to be completely up to you, but what's nice is, you remember the rim I was talking about? There it is. That rim sits perfectly on the portafilter. So, and there's the Normcore screen, which I use as well, right in here. That screen there, definitely helpful. And you don't have to use it, but I do. And what's honestly, it keeps the espresso machine cleaner, I think. I don't have to clean up as much because I use it. And you already saw the Maestri House, I would recommend. So, tossing, like, that's all you need. You need this Normcore, and you need the Maestri House, and you're set. So let's say that you do go for, let's say you're going to go for the Barista Express. Let's say you do go for that one, which is not a bad choice. Everybody loves this machine. It's a better price than the Barista Pro. I'm not saying the Barista Pro is not worth it. If you can get it on sale, it is. I think you probably should get it anyway. Spend a little bit more money and get that. But this thing is awesome. This is a good little scale. It's gonna do exactly what you want. So you can see it's got the grams and the timer. It's a good little scale. And yeah, it's got 3,687 reviews and 4.4 stars. Not bad. I'm gonna go see what they say about, like, what is going on. Why are they doing 1 stars on this thing? They want me to sign in. Okay, well, never mind. Let's see. Nope, can't do it. See, maybe some of the lower stars will come up here. Mostly great, except one little annoyance. Cons. I use this to brew espresso on my Breville Touch, and to get an accurate reading, you have to place something flat, unstructured, under the scale. Okay? Otherwise, the reading just jumps all over the place. I know lots of espresso machines have the same base, so this might be an issue for some. I haven't noticed that, not really. And let's see. So it seems like their counter might be level. It is level. So I don't know why they're having that trouble. Maybe this is uneven right here. I think because of that protrusion right there. Maybe that the scale is sitting on this piece right here. Maybe because the touch has like it's uneven because of that right there. I think that might be the case. Possibly, because mine, it does not do that. So there you go. Well, that's good to know. But if you're getting the Breville Barista Express, I think you're going to be good to go. Let's go look at it. This is annoying. Okay. I don't think there's any obstruction, right? So it's going to sit here pretty level. The scale is going to sit right here. So I think you're going to be good. The scale sits all across right here, and it's pretty level, so I think we're good. And I think it's the same on the Breville Barista Pro as well. Breville Barista Pro. And there's the touch. I'm going to go ahead and check out the touch real quick. And that's $1,000 right there. That's a beast of a machine. Let's see here. No. We need to check this out. It is uneven right there. See that? So that might be a problem. That's something to consider right there. So if the scale, if you need it to be super level and you got the touch, maybe that's not the one to get, because I bet you this is being pushed up a little bit because of whatever they had to do here for the steam wand and stuff, because it does the auto steaming and all that. So putting a scale in here is maybe not a good idea. So yeah, I don't know. There's, that's something to consider. But that's just a possible design flaw on either one, Breville or the person that made the scale. So yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to dodge that with any of these. So you could get this, but you would need a grinder. And if you needed a grinder, if you ended up getting like the Bambino, I would go with the Plus because the Bambino, yeah, Plus, it has a better steam wand. And you're gonna have to hold the top of this machine. You're gonna have to hold on to it if you're going to be putting and taking off and putting on the portafilter. And you're probably gonna have to buy a new portafilter also. From what I understand, these aren't like very good. And I think it comes with a plastic tamp. So I'm not sure, maybe, maybe not. Let's go see what it comes with. What's included here? Plus 5 more. I don't want to watch a video. Bunch of reviews for that. No, I don't. Oh, images, duh. Images. Okay, so let's see what they have. No, it comes with a decent tamper. It looks like it comes with a plastic metal tamper just like all of the other ones do. No brush in this one, it looks like. It comes with something to clean out the, this has a little needle. I forgot to show you this. There's a little needle right there to clean out the steam wand. You should never have to use this on your steam wand. You might have to if you don't clean off your steam wand after using it and blow it out. So just blast a little bit of steam through, and you know, after using it, you should be good to go. And then wipe it off with a microfiber cloth or whatever towel you have. Excuse me. And you'll be good to go. So let's see here. So the touch, interesting that it has that little quirk. There might be another scale that you can use. And see, here you go, the Bravo Bambino Plus espresso machine with a Baratza Encore ESP grinder. Nice. So there you go. They already know. That's the same grinder that I have. And what's cool about this grinder is it comes with this cup. This cup right here makes all the difference in the world. So it comes with another hopper as well. It comes with a big one, like a square one as well. And this little dial right here is what you turn to make it come on. But the problem with this is you cannot walk away from it, right? So like if you forget to put that cup underneath it, your coffee's going all over the table. Like, and I've done that before. I forgot this. You know, to put that under there, and the coffee ends up going out everywhere. So you got to make sure you remember to put that there. But what's nice about that dosing cup right there is that the rim here, the rim fits perfectly on a 54 millimeter portafilter. So it fits great. And yeah, you're going to be happy with it. And then you have all this space. That's your WDT right there. Remember how I was saying you got to take it and shake it? Well, that's what you got to do here. So shake it. I did not realize it was 302. Crazy. Okay, I got to get going. My gosh. So anyway, I've been having fun talking about all this stuff. But it's a good machine. It makes good coffee. And what's nice is I put a bellows on mine. And so I'll just push down. Let me go see. I'm going to go. So Baratza Encore ESP bellows. Baratza. No, Baratza. I can't see anything because of this. Baratza Encore ESP bellows. All right, this is what I picked, I believe. One of these. Let's see. ESP Virtuosa Encore grinder. So I don't know. I think they're the same thing. Yeah, sponsored, and then yeah, not sponsored, whatever. But yeah, this thing is awesome. Okay, last thing we'll talk about, and then I'll get going. The reason why this is good is partially because of retention. You don't want retention to stay inside the Baratza, and you can see a video right here showing how it works and all that stuff. But the thing is it will push the coffee through, yeah, but what I have found that it does is this will, it's better for allowing it to reduce the amount of fines. So why are fines bad? So fines make it to where the coffee is super bitter because the regrinding of the beans. So when you put coffee in here, okay, in this hopper, it will have the tendency to regrind some of what it has already ground and make the pieces smaller before they're able to go through the chute, okay? So the bellows helps, I think, push the coffee out that has already been ground, so that way it reduces fines. Why are fines bad? Is because it will jam up and make your extraction slower than it needs to be. And you can see them falling through and stuff, but it won't get rid of retention completely. Like, in other words, there's always going to be some coffee that sticks in here and gets stuck in there, and you have to beat the crap out of your machine sometimes to be able to get it to fall through, or you just add a few more beans. You know, and I never do that. I just take what I get. So if I'm looking for 20 grams, I'll be like, fine, screw it. Like, if it gives me 19.8, I'm like, you know what? Fine, keep the 0.2 grams in there. I'm done. I'm just gonna make my coffee, you know? So I don't think this sometimes doesn't even knock out the retention. It doesn't knock it out. It still stays in there, even though you're pushing this thing, blowing it, and like, I think people give it bad reviews because they're thinking about it the wrong way. I think all this thing does is let you push air through while it's grinding, so that way you can reduce fines, which enables a better extraction more consistently. I think. I don't know for sure. Don't hold me to it, but I feel like that's the case. And yeah, it's something to consider. And yeah, so I recommend getting it. It's only $13 or $14, $13.99 here. It's got fairly decent reviews. It's not going to be the answer like for everything. It's not going to fix everything. But what will help also is later on, if you want, get a little coffee mist bottle. There you go. This, like one of these little things. Spray your beans down a little bit, like 1-2 squirts on the beans. It will make it to where there's less of, like, so as the coffee is falling into the burrata, let's see, burrata. It's like, it does not like what I'm doing here. Burrata on Court ESP. As the coffee is falling into this right here, you will notice that it's spraying out everywhere. Instead of falling into the cup itself, it will want to be all down here and stuff, like all around, and like there's a big static storm of coffee floating around here as it's pouring out of here. And like, I'd say about maybe 10% of it is like just floating coffee, like getting all over the place and all over the table and everything. So instead, if you wet it down a little bit with, you know, a couple of mists, with this little mister, it makes all the difference in the world. So this little thing right here, two little sprays, it needs to be a really, really fine spray because you don't want these too wet because then they'll stick, right? They'll clump up and stick. So those are all of my tips, I think. That's all I can think about right now. Those are all the things that I hope, that would help you. So, hopefully this, helps somebody. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to the right of the subscribe button to be notified for future videos like this one that come out in the future. And my name is Mike. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Have a good day. And yeah, have fun making that coffee. Maybe do what copy what I do, but challenge what I do also. So create something new. do something different. And I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.